All right, April, thanks very much. We're at 7:14 right now. The New Orleans Business Alliance says New Orleans had a record year for economic development in 2018, including the addition of thousands of jobs in the area. This morning, Quentin Messer, the president and CEO of the New Orleans Business Alliance, is here with a breakdown for all the good news for 2018. And it really actually was a good year.
It was a great year. Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Our pleasure. First of all, where do you see the most growth in the city?
That's a great question. I think there are really three areas you see a lot of growth. One, in the high-tech industry, whether you have companies like DXC Technologies or Accruent coming into our area. Two, I think you're going to see a great growth and continued growth in healthcare. And three, I think professional services. There are a lot of lawyers, a lot of accountants, a lot of folks who are supporting our companies.
And you do see, I mean, for years, that high-tech has been booming in this city. For a long time, it just sailed under the radar. It
did. You're absolutely right. I mean, really, the beginning and the genesis was with the passage of the Digital Media and Software Development Tax Incentive. And you had companies like TurboSquid and others who were first movers. And then they were followed by companies like Lucid and Zlean and others. So we're now beginning to get known nationally as a mecca for high-tech growth.
And a lot of small developers, companies you don't hear that much of. It's, you know, maybe 3 or 4 employees, but they're doing a lot of great stuff.
No, you're absolutely right. And you particularly see that in the area of educational technology.
And what about the construction we're seeing downtown, especially in the warehouse district around the Rouses down there, and then out at the airport, the construction of the new airport? That's got to be a ton of jobs.
No, you're absolutely right. So you have a lot of construction jobs. You also have a lot of jobs, whether it's interior design, you have people who support janitorial services. It's also a boom for the real estate industry, leasing agents. So we're very excited. And I think the one thing I want to point out about the airport is with the new terminal, you're going to have added flight connectivity, which is going to make the city even more attractive for corporations.
Actually, how big of a deal is that?
Well, I think it's tremendous. I mean, the flight connectivity, I mean, we now in this in New Orleans can reach the top 36 markets with direct flights based upon the carriers we currently have at MSY.
And I mean, because when you fly to other cities, you do see much nicer, much more modern airports, or at least renovated airports, things like that. I mean, this really is going to be a big upgrade.
No, you're incredibly right. And at the end of the day, we still are, our largest industry is tourism hospitality, and this allows us to be much more competitive with regard to leveraging and attracting conventions.
And where do you think you see the most growth in the future for New Orleans, for the entire metropolitan area? Because we have kind of languished population-wise. The latest census had us below 400,000. You're saying now that you think we're around 408,000?
408,000, you're absolutely correct. I think what you will see ultimately, we won't be a city of 670,000.
Like we were years ago.
Like we were years ago. But my aspiration was to see us at a city about 500,000. And I think we can get there. And I think there are really 3 factors that are going to get us there. One, I think we have to continue to retain our folks in higher ed. We are really a university city. If we can retain those young people and they can grow businesses that will create jobs, you're going to see that retention. I think 2, we have to continue to think about how we grow in the healthcare sector. We are one of only 17 U.S. cities with 2 medical schools, so we have unparalleled assets. And the third thing is, I really do think there are going to be tremendous opportunities to even have growth in sub-niches in the tourism hospitality, whether it's wellness travel, whether it's intellectual tourism, ecotourism. These are things that I think New Orleans can capitalize upon.
And why do you think we won't hit that 675,000?
Well, you know, I will never say never. I will never say never. But I think that the reality of it is that there are a couple of things. One, just the way that demographic patterns are happening.
You're talking about nationally.
Nationally.
Yeah.
Nationally, I think that you're going to see the growth in the Southeast and the Southwest tend to go to other states.
Okay.
There are some broader things that may be beyond the scope of this conversation that I think we in Louisiana have to work on, but we have a tremendous quality of life, and New Orleans is unique among cities in the nation. So I think you're going to see growth among our population.
All right, Quentin, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Dave?
Love to hear that. Good news for the city.